Shedeur Sanders of Jackson State just made a big-time statement before he's ever played a college game, but I'm going to tell you why that is going to be great, not just for Jackson State, but for all of HBCU football right after the bumper. What's good people? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel of Victory Formation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Shedeur Sanders, the starting quarterback of Jackson State, it's already been announced by his dad, head coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. Don't forget the coach. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, has announced that Shedeur is going to be the starter. And at SWAC Media Day, not at the podium, but speaking to HBCU Game Day, an affiliate media company, Shedeur Sanders made a big proclamation. So, HBCU Game Day, I'm going to show you the clip, but HBCU Game Day asked Shedeur Sanders, like, what's it going to be like for Jackson State to take on some of the competition in the SWAC? And his answer is going to be one you need to hear because it rang the alarm across the country in HBCU territory. So here's Shedeur right here. He was dappered up at HBCU at the SWAC Media Days, and here's what he had to say.
Y'all don't really understand, like, it's players that have different caliber of talent that all came from JSU. So it's like, when you compare us to a regular SWAC team, a different SWAC team, the best, like, you gotta understand, we didn't come here because we had to. We came here because we chose to.
Woo! Let's run it back one more time. We didn't come here because we had to. We came here because we wanted to. Listen to this.
You gotta understand, y'all don't really understand, like, it's players that have different caliber of talent that all came from JSU. So it's like, when you compare us to a regular SWAC team, a different SWAC team, the best, like, you gotta understand, we didn't come here because we had to. We came here because we chose to. It's the difference.
That's real spicy, my G. That is real spicy. You feel me? But I love it. I love it because Deion Sanders, that's the mindset that his players is going to go into this season. We didn't come here because we had to. We came here because we wanted to. You guys at Alabama A&M, you guys at Alabama State, you guys at Alcorn, you guys at FAMU, y'all went there because y'all had no other options. Is basically what he's saying. That ain't what I'm saying. That's what he's saying. He said y'all went there because y'all ain't had no other options. Y'all had to go to those schools. We didn't have to. We had offers from Tennessee, South Carolina, Missouri, Florida Atlantic, Alabama. We went, and some of us even went to those schools, USC, Florida. Some of us even Georgia, even attended these schools. And we chose to come to Jackson State, Louisville. We chose to come to Jackson State. That is big talk from a guy who has never thrown a pass in a SWAC game, from a guy who has never stepped on a college football field and played in a game, from a guy who played high school football in like one of the worst divisions in Texas. Now, he was very successful. It was a private school It was a private school league, and he was very successful. They won a lot of games. They won a lot of championships. But they were like the lower level, the lower level competition in Texas. Now, I'm not knocking Shedeur. I don't know how good he is. I think he's good. He was a 4-star recruit. He's worked out with a lot of big names. Cal Trask, who just got drafted to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and obviously is the GOAT, won 7 championships. So he's worked out with a lot of these guys. It's worked out with a lot of guys who got Super Bowl rings, contracts, NFL contracts, drafted NFL players. But he hasn't played a game. Not only hasn't played a game in college football, he hasn't played a game at a SWAC team for a SWAC competition. Also, during those media days, what he said, because his school was so small, that private school, Trinity Christian in Texas, He said he didn't play in front of big crowds. So they had small crowds. He said the crowds that were going to Jackson State during COVID was bigger than anything he had ever played in high school. You remember at Jackson State and across the country, it was limited capacity in the stadiums. He said those were big crowds to him. And this is what he chose to say after getting drugged by Alabama A&M. Now, granted, he wasn't the quarterback and he wasn't playing, and a lot of these guys weren't able to play because they had played during the fall. They weren't eligible during the spring, and so they couldn't play during spring ball. But Alcorn's back. Alabama A&M is back. FAMU has a really good team. Southern is back. These are tough teams, Shedeur. You sure that's what you want to piss them off before ever touching the field? But here's why it's great for football. Here's why it's not only great for the SWAC, but for HBCU football in general. Because all of Jackson State, Shedeur just said it. The rest of the team feels that way. Now, you can call them D1 or Power 5 bounce backs or whatever the term they used in Last Chance U. They would always call them like bounce backs. This is how they feel. Now it's Gaddy, who played at Tennessee. Shedeur Sanders, who played at South Carolina. They have guys that went to USC, went to Missouri, went to, Florida. Corey Reed went to Louisville. Have transfers from all across the board, all across the country. Nugget Warren was committed and was about to sign to go to Georgia and had offers from Alabama and Florida. So have guys on their team is on paper is loaded. And they really feel the way what he just said. They feel that way. The only problem is they have to go out and execute. Because now those teams, the Alabama A&Ms who beat you, the Alabama States who beat you, the Grambling who probably should have beat you, the Alcorns who's been the best team in the SWAC the last few years, besides the spring when they didn't play. Now you got to go see them boys. FAMU, you got to go see them. And you got to back up those words you just said. And now that is what we call bulletin board material. Bulletin board material provided by the true freshman quarterback over at Jackson State, whose daddy's the head coach. Yeah, this is going to be a great football season. A great football season, not only for Jackson State, but for all the other HBCUs. Because this right here, him saying these kind of things, the things that Deion is doing and saying, continues to put the spotlight on the SWAC, on the MEAC, on the SEAC, and on all the HBCU football that they so properly deserve. And I cannot wait to see it go down. Jackson State also just got another 4-star, another transfer from Tennessee who was like a 4-star at basketball too. This dude, Malachi Woodside, he is ridiculous athletically. Now, I don't know how good he is in football, but he is a crazy athlete. And so that's why Shedeur felt comfortable, because guys like he might not even play because he feels like he's got so much talent around him. A guy who was a 4-star in football and basketball in the class of 2020 and transferred from Tennessee might not even see the field. Feels that confident. And I can't wait to see if he's able to back it up. Leave your thoughts in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the I Love Jackson State University is going to be able to back up what Shedeur had to say? Or are teams like Alcorn, Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and FAMU going to have something to say about that? Leave your thoughts in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. And follow us on Instagram at VF Sports Show. We post content on there all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.